In this lesson, we're going to have a look at the length, gradient and midpoint of a straight line. Now this topic is massively overlapped with GCSE maths, but what we're going to do, we're going to try and get you used to using a new form of equation for a straight line. So that's the extension from GCSE in this particular topic. So let's have a go. And we're going to start off by looking at the midpoint of a line segment. So let's say we've got 2 points, the point P, which has x coordinate x with a little subscript 1. That typically means the first x coordinate. And y1, which means the first y coordinate. And the point Q, which has x coordinate x2 and y coordinate y2. And we want to find the midpoint of that line segment. Well, there's a formula for that you've just got to learn. So the midpoint is equal to the mean of the x-coordinates as the x-coordinate and the mean of the y-coordinates as the y-coordinate. Add them together, divide by how many there are, because typically we're trying to make sense of that. The mean, as you learned at GCSE, it's one way of finding the middle of a data set. Well, we want to find the middle of this set of points here. Therefore, adding them up, dividing by how many there are, finds us that. Now, the most common mistake is for students to subtract here. Don't subtract. Remember that formula, midpoint, is the average of the x-coordinates, the average of the y-coordinates. So let's do a few examples. And here's the examples here. Now, we're going to do absolutely nothing groundbreaking here. This is just a direct recap of GCSE. So using that formula, in fact, I should keep it on the screen there. So find the midpoint of the following line segments. Nice and straightforward. You might want to pause it and have a go at yourself. So the midpoint is the x-coordinates averaged as the x-coordinate and the y-coordinates averaged as the y-coordinate, which is equal to, well, 2 plus 6 is 8, over 2 is 4, and 4 plus 12 is 16, divided by 2 is 8. So there we have it, the midpoint. Okay, part B. And the only extension here really is it uses negative numbers. So again, no real challenge, nothing groundbreaking. If you want to pause, check your answer. Let's get on with it. So adding the x-coordinates together, dividing by 2. And adding the y-coordinates together, dividing by 2. Which gives x-coordinates, so 4 takes 7 is minus 3, divided by 2 is minus 3 over 2. And minus 3 plus 2 is minus 1, divided by 2, which is minus a half. And that is it. Nothing more to the midpoint of a line segment. So now moving on, we're going to have a look at the distance between 2 points, or the length of a line segment. So let's say we've got this situation here, where we've got a point x1, y1 there, and another point x2, y2 there. And we want to find the distance between those 2 points, or alternatively, a way of wording it is the length of this line segment here. Now, the reason I call it a line segment, maybe I should have clarified this earlier, the reason I call it a line segment is because a straight line is assumed to go on forever beyond those 2 points. We're only interested in the length of the segment of the line between those 2 points. So hopefully that clears up a little bit of confusion, if there was any to begin with. So what I'm going to do now to find the length of that line segment is consider this to be a right angle triangle. So this length here is the distance between the 2 x-coordinates. So this length here, I'm going to say is x2 minus x1. The length of the vertical side of the triangle is the difference between the y-coordinates, which is y2 minus y1, like that. So basically, right angle triangle, find the length of the hypotenuse. So the length, or the distance between the 2 points, is equal to Pythagoras. So the square root of the horizontal side, length squared, plus the vertical length squared. And that there is the formula for the length of a line segment, or the distance between 2 points, x1, y1 and x2, y2. So Having proved why that's the case, let's now put it into practice. So this particular question here says find the distance between the following 2 points. We've got 2, 4 and 6, 12 as part A. So let's just shove that in the formula. So the length, the distance between the 2 points equals the square root of, and the difference between the x coordinates, 6 minus 2 squared, plus the difference between the y coordinates, 12 minus 4 squared. And no need to do this in your head. So the square root of, I think bits of it you can do in your head, 6 minus 2 is 4. And 12 minus 4 is 8 squared, equals 4 root 5 in that case. The distance between those 2 points is 4 root 5. Part B. And the only extension here is it uses negative numbers. So the length, difference between the x coordinates squared, so minus 7 minus 4 squared, plus, and then we've got 2 minus minus 3 squared. If you wanted to, just shove it in the calculator as is. So the square root of minus 7 minus 4 squared, plus 2 minus minus 3 squared is equal to root 146. And there we have it. The distance between 2 points, or the length of the line segment connecting those 2 points, however you want to word it. So the final part of this, we're going to have a look at the gradient of a line connecting 2 points. So what I'm about to show you now might or might not be how you did it at GCSE. So if I want to calculate the gradient of the line joining these 2 points, as I did before, consider the vertical and the horizontal distance separately. So this distance here, the horizontal distance, we saw before was simply the difference between the x coordinates. So x2 minus x1, same for y, y2 minus y1. Now the formula for gradient, typically represented by the letter m, is the y difference over the x difference. So you probably thought of it as delta y divided by delta x at GCSE, the difference in y divided by the difference in x, which is simply y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you might have seen the formula written like that before, you might not have, but from this point onward, remember that formula, use it. And now we're going to put it into practice with a couple of examples. And there it is there, find the gradient of the following line segments. So part A, 2, 4 and 6, 12. Well, the gradient is the difference in y, 12 take 4, over the difference in x, 6 take 2. And it doesn't matter which one of these were considered to be the first and the second point. So as long as this number here comes from the same bracket as this number, and this number here comes from the same bracket as this number, then all's good. And I'll give you a demonstration of that in just a second. So equals 12 take 4 over 6 minus 2, and should be able to do it in my head, but in an exam situation when the pressure's on, I would advise you not to do anything in your head. Take the easy way out and use the calculator. That gives gradient 2. If I want to do the subtraction the other way, by the way, just to show that it works, I could do first take second. So I could do 4 take 12 over 2 take 6 equals, and let's put that in the calculator, 4 take 12 over 2 take 6, which again is 2. So both ways work. Right, part B. Exactly the same again, the only extension is there's negative numbers here. So y difference over x difference, so 2 minus minus 3 over minus 7 minus 4 equals, shoving the calculator, 2 minus minus 3 over minus 7 take 4, which is equal to minus 5/11. So there we have it, the gradient of a line joining 2 points. Now let's extend this idea of a gradient to finding the gradient of a line just given its equation. Again, something you'll have covered at GCSE, but let's just recap it. You'll be familiar with this equation here, y equals mx plus c, the general equation of a straight line, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. So when an equation is in the form y equals mx plus c, we can simply just read the gradient as being the number in front of x, but it must say y equals, that's the key point. If it doesn't, you need to rearrange it to say so. So just a couple of quick examples which will highlight this. Find the gradient of the following straight lines and hence sketch both on the same set of axes, indicating clearly the intersection with the coordinate axes. So a couple of layers to this. So we'll concentrate on, first of all, finding the gradient. So the first is x plus y equals 5. So x plus y equals 5. If we rearrange that to say y equals, and if you want to, I'll let you do this, pause the video, then compare your answer to mine. But as always, I'll carry on. So y equals 5 minus x is the equation of that line. Or if we want to write it strictly in the form y equals mx plus c, we could say minus x plus 5 for clarity. So in this case, the gradient is the number in front of x, which is minus 1. That's part A. We'll do the sketching in a little while. Part B, got that one there. Again, it needs to say y equals, and it doesn't currently. So we've got 5x, if we rearrange a little bit, equals 3y plus 4. Let's take the 4 over at the other side, which means that 5x minus 4 equals 3y. Then let's divide by 3, which means that y equals 5 over 3x minus 4 over 3, like that. So we've got the gradient of this one equals 5/3. And now for the sketching of those lines. Sketch them both on the same set of axes, clearly indicating the intersection with the coordinate axes. So let's do that now. So there's our axes, and let's concentrate now on doing the first line, y equals minus x plus 5. So written in this form, it's easy to see that the gradient's minus 1, which we already worked out, and the y-intercept is 5. So let's get that on there. And it only needs to be roughly correct, it needs to make sense, rather than being 100% accurate, so don't plot points, do a suggested sketch. So this here now roughly looks like it has gradient minus 1, and what we should do, we should fill the whole axes with this. Don't let it appear to stop. There we go. And it asks for the coordinates of the points of intersection. So that's 0, 5. Don't just label it 5, it's strictly asked for coordinates. And now we need to label the x-intercept or the root. So to do that, we let y equal 0. So y equals 0 implies that 0 equals minus x plus 5, which means that x equals 5. So again, let's label this, but put in coordinates 5, 0. And one thing to remember, the y-intercept happens when x equals 0, so sub x equals 0 in. The x-intercepts or roots happen when y equals 0, sub y equals 0 in. So that's one of the lines drawn. Let's do the other now. So this line has gradient 5/3, which is a bit bigger than 1, and y-intercept minus 4/3. So let's try and get that on the graph. So notice what I've done. Minus 4/3, I'm going to say is roughly there. Again, might not be 100% to scale, but it's roughly right. It's a negative y-intercept. And the gradient looks to be a little bit steeper in the opposite direction to the blue line. And that's correct because this gradient's a bit bigger than 1. The other one was minus 1. This is a bit bigger than 1. So it's going to look a bit steeper. Let's label the y-intercept now. So 0 minus 4/3. And the gradient 5/3. And now we just need the x-intercept. So y equals 0, which implies 0 equals 5/3 x minus 4/3. Put the x in there, rearrange it, which means that 5/3 x equals 4/3 times both sides by 3. That means that 5x equals 4, which means that x equals 4/5. So labeling that point on the diagram, we've got 4/5, 0, and there we have it. There's our sketch, and the only thing left to do is label each line. So this one here is y equals 4/3 x minus 5/3, and this one here is y equals 5 minus x. And there we have it, the gradient of a line. So now have a go at the questions, checking each answer as you go, and then move on to the next lesson.